Hey there everybody, T-shirt booth here for GSHelper.com, and in this video I'm going to attempt to show you how to use writable tables to store your star count and your score and stuff like that for individual levels, and then to save it all at once instead of using the old method where you'd store it into different attributes and then save and load those attributes. So now with writable tables it's a lot easier. And I'm going to attempt to show you that now. I have nothing set up, so I'm not sure how this video is going to go, but we'll start from scratch and see. I have no images or anything, so let's give this a shot here. The first thing we need to do is create a table. So I'm going to hit Home and go into Tables, and I'm going to hit the plus sign in the bottom corner and create a new table. And we can just name this TB for table, and then we'll name this Scores. And we'll use it for stars too, but just I want a short name there. So I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to create two columns because we're going to record score and stars. And score will be an integer, and stars will also be an integer. And I don't know how many levels we're going to have. I'm just going to put 100. So one row for every level. It doesn't matter if you have extra, you can just put 100 there, it doesn't matter. And you can always add to it later. So we're going to go home, and we're going to go into our scene, and we're going to create a couple scenes here. So I'm just going to hit the plus sign, and we'll call this menu, and then level 1, level 2. And I always start with an actor called round rules. And as most of you know, I always make it lime green, so I always know where it is, what it is. And I'm going to go into scene 1. I'm just going to copy it onto the scene here. And then I'm going to go into scene 2. Copy it onto this scene here. And this will basically control every level that we use. Now, I'm going to go into attributes. And I'm going to create a game attribute, and it's going to be an index attribute, and this will keep track of what level we're on. So we'll call this what level are we on. Okay, and I'm going to go in, and in the round rules I'm going to create a self attribute, and it'll be an index because it's going to be a number from 1 to 100. It's never going to go into the negative, so index is the one we want to use. And we'll call this what level, and I'm going to set that to 1 just as the default. And then what you're going to do is in every level, this is that's level 1, so it's already set to 1. I'm going to go into level 2, open this up here, and change this to a 2. We're not going to unlock this actor, we're just going to change that to a 2. And in this actor, the first thing we're going to do, the very first thing, is going to say change attribute, game, what level are we on, to self what level. So no matter what level I go to, it's going to set the proper level that we're on, and we're going to use that number to know what row on our table that we're going to write to. So that's very important. I'm just going to go ahead and save this to my desktop in case we have a crash. And let's go back now. Make sure we're back into level 1, and I guess we need to figure out a system to get a score and stars. So you'll have your own thing, and no one's game is going to be the same, so I'm just going to set something up that's default here, and we'll call this score actor. And I'm going to create an attribute for score, hit the plus sign, and it's going to be an index attribute because it's be whole numbers that can never go into negative. And we'll call that score. And I'm going to go into here, go into the score actor, and we're just going to say when, create a rule, when touch is pressed, change attribute, game dot score 2, and then we'll just do a random 200 to 2000. Just to give us a little random score here, and we're going to say display, and we're going to display a game score. Alright, so I'm going to go back, put this on the scene here, hit preview, so you'll see it just changes the score. Oh, let me go back in here. We want to change this to game score plus the random 200, so it adds to the score. So hit this level here, and now you'll see the score just keeps going up. So now we have a score here. Let me just go ahead and change the color of that just so we can see it better. And I'm going to save it one more time. So now we need to collect our stars. So we're going to create an attribute, and we'll call it an index attribute, and we'll call it stars. And we just need to, again, every game will be different. I don't know how you're going to collect your stars or what you're going to gauge your stars on. So I'm just going to create a star actor here. Put it on the scene. And we'll change it to yellow. Okay, so we have 1 star there, 1 star there, 1 star there. And I'm going to create a rule in here that says when when event touch is pressed, change attribute game stars to game stars +1. And what that's doing is adding to the star count. So stars count start at 0, and then as I collect them, it'll go +1. And I'll just show you here with the display text that they're counting up here. So display game.stars, and we'll just make that a darker color here. And press preview. So you'll see it's 0. I haven't collected any, and I touch them and it goes up. And we want to destroy them too when that happens. So I'm just going to say destroy text. Actually, let's just destroy text. Let's just do this instead. Instead of destroying, because we might want to recycle them later, we'll just do a change attribute, self position y to -50, just to hide them out of the way. And then that way you can call them back later if you needed them. So as I'm collecting them, now I have 3 stars, and I can get some points there. So now we have our star system and our points. And what we want to do is the old school way was to create an attribute for every level. So you would create an attribute here, and it'd be an index attribute, and you would say, level 1 stars, and then you would save it to there, and you'd load it later on, and you'd have to do that 100 times for stars and 100 times for the score, and it was just a lot to do, and then you'd have to load them all later. And now with writable tables, it's really easy. So we're going to need one more attribute here for now. We're going to call it an index attribute again, because it's just a positive number, and we're going to call this level unlocked. And right now, level 1 is unlocked. Let's say you had 100 levels. You don't want them going into those other levels because they haven't unlocked them yet. So we're going to make it level unlocked, set to 1. And we're going to make it one more attribute here. And it's going to be a Boolean because it's just a yes or no answer. And it's going to be called level complete. And in your game, you'll have something that triggers to say the level's over. And what we're going to do is I'm going to create an actor here because I don't have a game, so I don't have no system in place to, say the level's over. So I'm just going to make an actor here that says create rule when touch is pressed, change attribute, game, level complete to true. And let's do a display text here so you can see what it's doing. And we'll say press to complete, and I'll make that green. So right now we have our score, which I can make. We have our star system, which I can collect the stars. And you know, I got all 3 stars, and then I can say level complete. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to save this. Now, when level complete is true, we need to start, you know, saving the stars and the score if they need to be saved. So we're going to go to our round rule, and we're going to create a rule that says when attribute game level complete is true, we're going to do a few things here. I guess the first thing we need to do is decide if we need to unlock more levels or not, because what you want to do is you want to say if you don't want them to be able to unlock up to level 50 and then go back and play level 20 and then it locks all from 20 again. So we have to determine if the level is an appropriate one to unlock. So we're going to make a rule in here, and we're going to say if attribute, and then we're going to say if game level unlocked is equal to self what level. So, you know, if they're on level 20 and level unlocked is 20, yes, we're going to unlock a new level. And that's the only time we need to unlock a new level is when they're actually playing the most locked level. So what we'll do is we'll do change attribute game level unlocked to game level unlocked plus 1. So if 20 is unlocked, we're going to unlock 21. And then what we'll do is we'll do a save attribute here, and we're going to save game level unlocked, and we'll just call this unlock. You gotta remember that key for later, because you'll need to load it. And to load it, you would just go into your main scene, the first scene of your game, and you'd have an actor called load attributes. So any attributes you need to load, you know, you just put this in out of the way, and you'll go load attribute, and you're going, oh sorry, for the key it was unlock, and for the attribute it is game level unlocked. And that's all you need to do to load the attribute, so that way, you know, when you go back to your menu, it's already unlocked and good to go. So I'm going to go back into our round rules, and so we'll call this unlock level. So now what we need to do is we need to determine if our score needs to be saved or not. So we're going to create a new rule in here. Create a new rule. And again, I'm just doing this off the top of my head, so it might take me a second to think here. So save score. And what we're going to do is we're going to say if attribute game score is greater than, and we're going to go and verify if it's better than the score that's saved already in the table. So we're going to say table cell value, and we're just going to highlight the word table there, and we're going to go to our table, which is TB scores, and for row we're going to use the self what level am I. So if it's level 1, it's going to use row 1. If it's level 2, it's going to use row 2. And we know the score part is in column 1 because the stars are in column 2. So we'll put 1 for column. So now we're saying if the score we have now is better than what's in the table, what we'll do is we'll change attribute, or sorry, we'll change table cell value, and we'll choose our table, and for row again we'll choose our self dot what level we're on. Ooh, damn touchpad. Self what level, and for column it'll be column 1 because that's where our scores are, and for value we're gonna say game score. So the only time it's going to save this, change the score is if it's better than the score that's already there. And I'm just going to throw a quick save table down here and choose our table. So now we have our score done. Now we're going to do another rule. And it's almost the same as the first one, but we're going to say if attribute game stars is greater than, and we're going to use our table cell value, and for table we'll use our table, which is TB score. For row, again, we're going to use self what level, and then for column, we know the stars are in column 2, so we'll put the column 2 there. And what we're going to want to do is, again, we're going to put a change table value, and we're going to change the table we have. And again, for row, it's self what level. For column, we know the stars are in column 2, and then for value, we'll put game stars. And I'm going to hit File, Save, and then we're going to also throw in here a save table, and choose the table. So now we have all our stuff that, you know, our score, our stars. Oh, let me call this stars here. And our level unlock. So we have all that set up, and then we're going to say that's good. We're going to go into our level scene here, and in this actor here we have the turn to level complete. We're going to say timer after 1 second, run to completion, and we'll change scenes to the next scene. So change scene, we'll go to the next scene. Okay, so let me go into scene 2, and we're just going to add some stars in here too. I got my stars, and we'll add a score in here, and then we'll add the tap to continue button here. And now one thing we need to do is we need to set when it changes scenes. Let's go into here, and before it changes scenes, we want to change attribute, and we want to change game score back to 0 because it's going to be a new level. And then I'm going to copy this down here with Alt Option and then click drag, and we're going to change our stars back to 0, and then we're going to switch scenes. So what we're going to do now is, this should be good. I'm going to go File, Save, and just for testing purposes, I want to show you. Let's go to the main scene, and I'm going to add here level. So we have 2 levels, so put 2 of them there. So it's level 1, level 2, and we're going to create a self attribute here. I'll call it an index because it's a number from 1, positive numbers from 1 to 100, and so this will be 1, and we'll call this what level am I, and that's level 1. I'm going to go into this one and change that to 2 because that's level 2, and I'm going to go in here and tell it to display text self oh, I'm in the wrong one, sorry. Let me delete that. Here it is, level. I'm going to tell it to display, and I'm going to tell it to display my score. And what we're going to tell it to do is display table cell value. And for table, we're going to say game and then our table. For row, we're going to use our self what level am I? And for column, we know scores on column 1. And I'm just going to change that to green. And that should be good. Now I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to put this right in here. I'm going to call this stars. And we're going to make this yellow. And I'm going to call this index again. New attribute, we'll call this what level. And again, you'll have a fancy way to display your stuff, but I'm just doing this to show you. So we'll grab that and I'll make a copy over here. And I'll change that to 2 because that's level 2. Hit save again just in case. And I'm gonna say here we're gonna display text, and here we're gonna display table cell value. Again, under table we're gonna use game our table, and for row we're gonna use self what level, and for column, because the stars are in column 2, we'll use 2. And I'm just gonna turn this to a darker color. And if all goes correct, let's see here. So right now we have 0 scores and we have 0 stars. So I'm going to go into here and I'm going to collect. Oh, no. We missed something here. So level complete is off. And we'll go into this one here. When touch is pressed, oh, here we go. Put this inside the when touch is pressed level complete. And then we're also going to put in here change attribute game level complete to false. So we can turn off level complete after we use it. So now I go here, I'll go into level 1. And I'm going to collect 2 stars for level 1, and let's get a score 3465. Go to level complete. That takes me to level 2. Here we're just going to get 1 star, but we're going to get a really good score, about 9,000. I'm going to go into here, and as you can see, I have my 2 stars for level 1 with my score 3465, and 9,000 with 1 star for level there. And I'm going to go back into my level 1, and this time I'm going to get all 3 stars. And I'm going to get a good score. And then this time, if you remember, I think we got 1 star. I don't remember, but I'm not going to get any stars this time, and I'm going to get a lower score. And I'm going to go back to the menu. And as you can see, I still have my 1 star and my 9,000 points for this one, but for this one I have my 3 stars and my higher score. So it basically saved my better score and didn't accept my lower score for each level. And that's pretty much all you need for saving a star system and scores with writable tables. And again, you'll have to adjust it for your game because every game is different, but that's pretty much the basics, and I hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.